What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back here to the Universal Open Rocket League West Regionals out of San Francisco, California. Entrance to Chinatown right there. Wonderful walk if you guys are in town. Beautiful to go through, and my favorite part of the city. I just like walking around. That's what I do. I don't know. I love it. Now I'm here talking esports on TV in that market. Makes me happy. We've got our bullpen, as you guys can see, as all the teams are getting set for the semifinals, which are about to kick off right here. As semifinal number 1 is going to be Fibeon versus Chickens, and one of those teams we certainly didn't expect to be there. They've got a tough match, the Chickens do, up against Fibeon. I know you guys mentioned before that Fibeon looks like a stronger team, but I'm pulling for another upset here. What do you guys got?
I mean, so you got Fibeon, who's got the dragon, right? And you got the chickens. But like the dragon's just like an old chicken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so like the
That's
chickens,
how that works.
The new thing here. So they've got this one. No, I think Fibeon's really got this in the bag right now. They are such a strong team. But honestly, if any team's surprising me right now today, it's been the Chickens with their performance from Viking and Twice the Tang. Those guys were on fire. I would love to see an upset here over Fibeon.
That's right. And in these semifinals, we're going to be punching our last 2 tickets to the grand finals, and we want to show you guys a little bit more information about that because they are going to start on Saturday, August 26th. We'll, of course, have 2 days of action starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports app and Twitch. And then we are going to have 2 hours of live broadcast on NBC Sports as well. You guys can see the teams that have already punched their tickets to the grand finals in Santa Ana, California. Genesis, Itzlit, Wabi Sabi, and Incognito coming out of the U.S. Open Regional. G2A and G2B from the East Regional. Cloud9 and Ambition from the Northeast. DapG and Splice from the Midwest Regional. Of course, Gale Force Esports, Mocket Method, and Flipside Tactics have come out of the European Regional, which means there are just 2 spots left. It means that we're going to be finding those last 2 teams right now. So to kick things off, let's get a little discussion about Fibeon here. You guys calling right from the very beginning that this was one of the teams to beat, if not the team to beat. Let's do a little bit of forward thinking here. Let's rank these teams. Do you still feel like they're the team to beat? Do you think what we saw at a Sizzle Your Cobb maybe was a bit stronger? What do you guys got for predictions?
I think it'll be Fibeon and Sizzle Your Cobb in the finals. It's hard to say who's going to win. That performance from Sizzle Your Cobb. Man, I still can't say that name. Sizzle Your Cobb. Sizzle Your Cobb. Yeah, no, I think that Sizzle Your Cobb's got that one pretty good there, but I don't know. I can see it going any way. They were so good. So was Fibeon. We'll find out more after this match.
That's right, and it looks like we're about to jump into semifinal game number 1. This is a best of 5. Wave and Quinn, it's all yours.
We'll see how this one goes, folks. We are now in the semifinals, which makes this a best of 5. Got to win 3 games to move on. Still single elimination, though. If you lose in this series, you do go home for good in the Universal Open. It'll be Fibeon in the blue and the Chickens. They're Team Chicken.
Did you see that half flip save?
Yeah,
We're going to comment about it?
It was a beautiful save. Talk about it. Tell me about it.
It was a great half flip save. Being able to both half flip and gain control of the ball and follow up on it, that was smooth.
Oh, and there's another save there by Twice the Tang to send that one away. Chicago was about to try and sneak it in the top corner. The Viking try and move it up by himself. In the corner with Hato and Chicago into the box. But they knew Twice the Tang was far in the back. They didn't need to challenge immediately, so they take their time, move it all the way into the orange corner. And Hato will try and take a shot.
Hato.
It is Hato. Okay, so it was me that was pronouncing it correctly.
What? I said Hato.
No, you were saying Hato.
Did I say Hato?
Yeah. That's okay. Hey.
This is gonna roast me on TV?
Dude. Yeah. Sure, why not? 3:58 left to go. Game number 1. We're off to a great start, you and I, Quinn.
I know it's been a mess, but actually already let's talk about the Chickens already doing a great job here. We talked about how Twice the Tang, the substitute coming in on the team and having a fantastic performance already. Hato and Chicago just a much slower and quieter performance so far. I mean, you can tell they have a lot more respect for this Chicken squad than they may have had earlier.
God, this is the fact that you're saying you have more respect for the squad named the Chickens. It still just cracks me up. And you saw a great play there as Chicago was up being the linebacker trying to demolish Twice the Tang in front of Hato just to open up the shot for him. But Twice the Tang not only avoids the demolition, but also wins the 50-50 with Hato to get it back away. 3:12 left to go here in game number 1, and we're scoreless. Fibeon has not found a way through the defense. They've been on the offense mostly, and the Chickens have been having to play defense, but they have not found a way through yet. That zone onto Twice the Tank couldn't have done it, but now Viking with a breakaway opportunity. He plays it to the side. That'll give them plenty of time to get back. Fibeon will be able to make them defensive moves.
Yeah, it looked like their Viking had an opportunity. He was able to get control of the ball on top of his car. He could have flicked that one in on the breakaway, but moving to the corner actually a little too far and letting the defenders recover.
Man, as you see Twice the Tank, he slows this down, realizing how high Viking got punted into the air, and knowing his teammate needed to get grounded before he moved up. Did not want to double commit. Brilliant play there by Twice the Tank to keep his wits about him. But now Hato's behind enemy lines.
Yeah, we saw him take the boost there, so he's going to know that Viking's going to be struggling here. And that's, I think, the game we're going to be looking from Chicago and Hato, the boost game.
They finally find a hole in the defense there. Hato will put it, and Amphibion's on the board.
Yeah, here, a good touch from Chicago, able to beat both defenders. Twice the Tank, he actually had a good chance there of making that save. That was the right idea to challenge when he did. Unfortunately, just a little bit too slow. He needed to be faster, and Chicago beating him there.
They put that first goal in, 2:18 left to go. Fibeon now with the lead. Chicago to try and slow this one down. Draws out one. Hato in to take a shot. Viking gets up and makes the save. Sends it to the side. Twice the Tank with the follow-up. Wins the 50-50 with Hato, and it'll be back out at midfield. Chicago now down and onto the backboard. Viking will be able to play it away. No, he doesn't make contact. Hato will punish, and put it in. I think I combined two words.
Punish.
Don't keep saying it. It sounds weird.
Actually, one of the things I want to talk about right before this goal, we saw a lot of creativity. Hato actually going for the backflip shot. The main advantage of going for a backflip shot is that it lets you maintain your positioning. When you flip forward for a shot, you're actually repositioning yourself forward at the same time. And Hato being able to go for that backflip shot shows that these guys are versatile on offense and they have an understanding of their car mechanics very, very well. That's what we'd hope, right, at this level?
Absolutely. Hato will play that one away. And in your defense, from when I was flaming you earlier, you started.
Oh,
saying,
I meant Hato flaming me.
You started to say, you started to say Hato, but then I was like, oh, that must be how it's pronounced. I must be wrong. So I started saying Hato too. So I think we were both to blame on that one a bit. Oh my goodness, does it go in? Twice the Tank makes the defensive plays. The linebacker play does not work out.
Chicago actually jumping in the way of that on accident, going for the demo, and unfortunately couldn't get out of the way of the ball as well, preventing another goal here.
They're only up by 2. With a minute left, especially in 2v2s, a lead of 2 is not that hard to get by, but my goodness, look at these plays. That one's just going to roll in. All Chicago's got to do is just kind of keep Twice the Tank away. Hato puts in a third one here, and Fibeon's got this one in control.
And we've seen Hato and Chicago really go for this same pop the ball into the air, bait the defender to challenge me, and then beat them to the ball and get it over them. We've seen 2 goals already from that, and I'm wondering if at this point, is it a pattern that they're spotting? Twice the Tank and Viking, they recognize that they're getting up to the ball a little too slow.
Fibeon now with game number 1 pretty solidly in their control. As would be expected, the pass over towards Chicago goes just above the crossbar. Hato not going to be able to find that one. And the thing is, we've seen the Chickens in this situation before where they were down by 3, but that was when they had half the game left to play. These guys have definitely been able to bounce back from being down substantially, so I wouldn't count them out usually, but with how late we are in the game here, there's just no way they're going to be able to pull this one off, especially as that 4th one goes in there. 30 seconds remaining. Fibeon doing exactly what everyone expected them to do here in the semifinals.
Right, and that actually also speaks to the quality of the team that Chickens were able to beat. We should mention also this is a best of 5. We're no longer in the quarterfinals, so we're going to have to see Chicken with a little bit more time to try and adapt and adjust to this Fibeon team that is so strong, especially Hato and Chicago. Just so many different types of offensive pressure they put on this team. We see Viking and Twice the Tank struggling.
I mean, they've done a substantial job on defense, especially the first half of the game, but they've had to play so much defense. They've had very few scoring opportunities. As reflected by the scoreboard, they have yet to find the back of Fibeon's net. And as this final countdown happens, it will be 1-0 in the series here. Fibeon taking the lead. Best of 5, they got to do it 2 more times. Chickens has got 2 more opportunities to try and figure this out.
Right, and I think that it's in the... I don't think it's, you know, too far-fetched to say that Chickens would be able to make this comeback, excuse me. I think it's possible. They're definitely a strong team. We actually saw them doing so much better against Fibeon in the first 2-3 minutes of the game than they did against Sloth.
Okay, but talk to me about that a little bit. Was that just because Fibeon was a little bit cold? Like, do you expect them to be able to build on that? Did you see something from Chickens that lets you think this might be a closer game?
Well, I just think that Chickens, I mean, you see how well they were able to deal with the defense. It was a struggle for Hato in Chicago, and until they started going for those until they started popping the ball and trying to beat them, it was really, they were struggling to score on net, and that's one of the goals we see from just a small defensive error, but for the most part, that's what I'm talking about, baiting in the defenders and popping it up over them, just a little slow in the air, and that's that mechanical prowess of Fibeon, but that can be beaten with intelligence, and we've seen that Twice the Tank and his teammate have both shown signs of intelligent play.
Okay, so Quinn says it can happen. Will it happen, Wave?
I think that the thing that they have to do, they have to be able to capitalize on the mistakes that Fibeon gives them. We saw a few instances, definitely, with Viking having the opportunity to dribble it down and stuff. He has to, but I don't know if they will be able to at this point with the level that they're being played at. Fibeon, will they? I want to believe. I really do want to believe. They have 2 more opportunities to figure this one out, and this is the team that we saw be down by 3, but then be able to be bounced back against Sloth. So I'm excited to see it happen.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we're already ready for game number 2, so we'll see if Fibeon's going to take a 2-0 lead or Chicken can tie things back up.
Let's get into this second game. Up to Fibeon. Up to Fibeon on whether they're going to be able to get into this lead. They really do have this series in their hands. Chicken's going to try and take it from them. You'll see Chicago up there on the wall, has Twice the Tank in company, and Viking now with an opportunity. Open net, sort of. Yeah, it puts it too high, though. They drew Hato into the air, but they took too long making the second shot, so goalie being loose is not going to matter. Chicago will pinch that off Viking. What a read. Reading a pinch is one of the most difficult things to do in the game, and he successfully blocks the shot with lightning reflexes. We'll stay scoreless here in the first minute, but it is still Fibeon again that is making the threatening plays here.
And we see, honestly, quite a few opportunities already for Viking and Twice the Tank, but unfortunately just not capitalizing on it, and that's what needs to happen. We see the quality in Hato and Chicago, like you see right here. They're both so strong, offense and defense. What opportunities they give you, you need to be able to capitalize on them.
You don't really see it very well here in the replay, but Chicago, the moment he saw Hato had the ball control, he just immediately makes a beeline towards the goalie to make Twice the Tank have to jump out of the way. Hato just can take a shot there, basically the entire net. And these linebacker plays, I'm really liking them from, and whenever I say linebacker play, I mean some player going up to try and mess with the defense just to give a free shot to your opponent who's behind him.
Yeah, the nitty-gritty types of, like, I'm just going to come and
just
mess you up.
You can't block the shot if you're not in goal anymore, if I bump you out of the way, you know. Make it quite clear. You see there, Twice the Tank just removed from the net. He's not quite able to get it around. Chicago couldn't make the shot, but that's exactly what we're talking about here. They are being so aggressive, playing. Some would consider it dirty Rocket League. I think it's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's most definitely not dirty Rocket League. Totally legitimate tactic. And you'll see some players so good at avoiding the bump and demolition, jumping and being able to also get back on the ground, because once you jump, you have 1.5 seconds to use your flip or second jump. So if they're able to keep you off the ground for that long, you may be unable to make a save.
Hato plays it over to the side, 3:17 left to go, and it is Fibeon with the 1-goal lead. They lead in the series as well after taking game 1, and right now they're poised to go up by 2. But you know the Chickens want to be able to bounce back. They do not want to be in a reverse sweep situation. They would love to even up this series here in game 2, and they're only down by 1. Plenty of time and room to come back into this. They've drawn both the Fibeon players into the corner here. You see Twice the Tank thinking about it in the midfield. I've really enjoyed watching Twice the Tank's sense of awareness here. Gets the block as well, but Viking a bit loose. Hato will finish that one off.
Wow, Viking actually almost with an incredible off the inside of his own goal save. A really good touch here from Chicago, and unfortunately Twice the Tank unable to clear his own post, and we see Viking almost able to get off of his own goal and make a save. Those are so difficult, but really Chicago and Hato just showing how fast they're also able to follow up on each other's plays. Hato almost no hesitation to follow up on a great shot there from Chicago.
Yeah, and Viking just very, very loose in his net. Very difficult to get grounded in time to make that shot. As Hato plays this one over the top of him, and Chicago plays it past Twice the Tank. Twice the Tank, oh no, does it go in? Oh, he can get it away, he saves it, but is it enough? No, Chicago still finishes it off. Critical mistakes there from the Chickens.
Yeah, Twice the Tank actually thinking that he needed to make this touch to keep the ball away from his teammate, and with great presence of mind to recognize that, okay, the ball's floating up in the air, I'll just get underneath it, it'll pop out, because once the ball hits the back of my car, I'm good. Unfortunately, Chicago with a bullet of a shot and a great angle. That's a tough shot.
I do think that the shining silver lining right now on this Chickens roster is the positioning of Twice the Tank. He is so aware of Vikings at all times and making his decisions on where he should be positioned.
Oh.
And look at this shot coming through, able to put it through. Can you believe that this guy is not the starter? This guy is the substitute who was just the last-minute ditch pickup. Twice the Tank has been the star player for Chickens.
Yeah, but we also see Viking with great interference play, and it's just awesome synergy between the two of them, because you can see that once Viking gets that touch, there was not even a second before we saw Twice the Tank up in the air going for that aerial. He recognizes based off the positioning of his teammate what his intention is, and that's something great two teams do.
And the 7-goal streak of Fibeon is broken here finally, as we see the Chickens getting on the board. 2 minutes left to go and only down by 2. They've been here before and gotten the win in overtime. Chicago to play this one down. Twice the Tank lofts it high. Hato's drawn up, and Vikings pinch goes over the side. This is still a decent position here for the Chickens. They take their time getting into the air. Viking now try and carry this one off the ceiling. Twice the Tank lurking in the midfield, looking for an opportunity. Not sure whether he wants to move up or back. He'll continue just to kind of lurk and wait for the decisions of others. Gets one bump, and this pinches this one all the way down. That's about the fastest shot we've seen all tournament long. What a laser beam.
I talked about bullets, but this one for real. Look, you see as both the players combine at the same time, at the same point on the ball doesn't know where to go. It just flies into the other team's net. What a shot.
Yeah, pinch plays definitely put the most pace on the ball. And just like that, it's a 1-goal game, Quinn. Can the Chickens do it again? Come back from the 3-goal deficit.
You know, I didn't say earlier against Sloth versus Chickens, but I'm a big chicken run guy. I'm not so much an Ice Age kind of guy, you know?
Okay. Oh, can Hato finish this one off? My goodness. Look at these guys. These plays.
A really great shot here, actually, from Hato. You see him, he controls the ball, and he takes his time going up, not boosting too fast, and I think some of those turns maybe kind of intimidating Viking, who we saw flew across the goal to make that save, but unfortunately unable to do it. A great shot there from Hato. Little space as well.
And with a minute remaining, going back up to a 2-goal margin, definitely going to be a nice comfort there. Can he make it 3? Hato finishes that one through. The clear was not there. He just kills the ball right in front of his own net, and Hato will make it a 3-goal game once more.
And this is something that's actually a little bit of a common tactic. I'm not sure if he actually expected this, but when you hit the ball at the opposing team member, if they don't have enough time to get themselves to the side, they'll actually end up dropping it right in front of them. And that's what we saw there. Viking, instead of letting that ball go off to the corner, he thought it was going to go in. He touches the ball and just flops right out in front of the net for the other team to take advantage of.
You got to be hurting right now if you're the Chickens. You worked so hard to cut that 3-goal lead back down to 1, and now we're back up to 3 again in the final minute.
Oh. Actually, a very creative double touch there to be able to put that ball to the side as he's going onto his own backboard.
Twice the Tank moving up the field.
But as you were saying, Wave Puck, I definitely agree. But there's one, you know, the saving grace of this is that they have confidence now. They know that they have the ability to keep the game level. They have the ability to score goals. There's not going to be shut out like we saw Sizzle Your Cobb do to recovery earlier, and that's going to give them confidence.
It does give them confidence, but in this situation, with 10 seconds left, down by 3, they're not going to win game 2, and now they are faced with the surmounting tact. The what?
Down by 4.
Down by 4. Down by 4. Sorry, I was writing a number down. You can see it over here on the page. They are faced with the ridiculous task of reverse sweeping Fibeon here. Reverse sweeping Fibeon. I think I mispronounced all the words.
That's a little bit of a tongue twister. I don't blame you for that one. But I mean, it's so difficult, and we see, especially in Chicago, the greatest thing, when I just watch Chicago, it puts me in awe at how good his interference play, and he follows up on the ball so well. Very few missed touches. You see, he'll just jump in front of Viking and Twice the Tank and just stop them from going anywhere, and it gives Hato,
you got it.
So much time to rotate.
Okay, so what I noticed, though, is that even though with about a minute left, it had gotten down to a 1-goal differential there for a while, it wasn't really because Chickens was playing awesome Rocket League. They had the lucky pinch at 147 kilometers an hour.
I don't think that was lucky.
Or, well, still, I appreciate that. That's great. But still, I think you know what I mean. It's not like they were creating opportunities on their opponent's side of the pitch. They didn't have great ball control. They were relying on these huge shots from across the map and crazy opportunities to get anything done.
Which, I mean, in 2v2, to rely on your opponent's mistakes to score is definitely a possibility, because when they commit, they're so often going to commit 2 players to the backboard, and then you've just, as long as you can cleanly move it down the field, you can score. And I think that Chickens has gotten a long ways in this tournament by doing stuff like that, but it's not going to be able to give them the win against Fibeon.
Right, I would agree with you. You make a good point there, Kevin and Wave Puck, when you both say that these guys need to be able to dominate the game themselves against Chicago and Hato. They can't just sit and wait for mistakes and just capitalize on it, because we can just see Chicago and Hato slow it down, and then that whole game plan goes out the window. So you're right about that. However, we did see them create goals, though. We saw interference play, and that was huge for them to be able to say, hey, look, we see what you're trying to do, and you know what? We have a counter for it.
Okay, all right. So that makes a lot of sense for me. I think I understand that. That's why we employ smart people like you to correct me. So, all right, guys, let's jump into game number 3, and we'll see if it's going to be a clean sweep for Fibeon.
We've had sweeps all day, and right now Fibeon could continue that into the semifinals. Viking, what a save in net to send that one away. Keep us scoreless here in the first 10 seconds of game number 3, but the fact that Viking is making ridiculous saves in the first 10 seconds already tells you that nothing has really changed here, as the game plan has stayed exactly the same for Fibeon. They'll drop another one. Viking again with the save. The defensive plays have been beautiful to watch here from the Chickens, but they have to, I really need to see some offensive plays from them right now, as they have struggled to get anything going really at any point during this series.
And it's easy to understand why that's the case with the interference play from Chicago and Hato. And we've seen so few just misplays, bad touches, mistakes. I mean, it's so, easy to be intimidated by the other team.
Ooh, let's go. Here we go. Chickens getting the lead in the beginning. Hato does not get the clear he wants at Chicago, losing this touch battle in the corner. And then twice the Tang over the top. Hato's just not where he needs to be, and Viking puts it in. This sort of pressure, this is an earned goal here, forcing the defensive mistakes. Well done by the Chickens to get on top here in game 3.
It's funny, I mentioned them possibly being intimidated by just how few mistakes Chicago and Hato make, and then we see one right then and there. There are cracks in this defense. It's just a matter of making sure that they're able to keep it all together and wait and wait and wait as they work for those cracks.
4 minutes left in game 3. Hato getting demo means he spawns back on the defense. He shows up behind Chicago there. He'll move up and take the first spot, winning the first 50-50. Can he do it again? Pops it high, and Chicago's up. Look at the speed. Can Chicago fall on this? Hato's there as well, but a good touch from twice the Tang.
Oh, this opportunity.
Moves this one away, takes the shot downfield. Took his time, and Chicago was able to fall back. We will stay with a 1-goal lead here for the Chickens, but right now, best offensive showings we've seen from the Chickens yet here in this series, so they've got the lead in game 3.
And the big difference is you see just how much more pressure they're trying to put on the other team. They're not giving Chicago and Hato the space. We saw them earlier just dribbling, and these guys are not letting that happen any longer. And you can see it. They just feel like they have a better grasp on the game as a whole.
Here comes Fibeon, a nice pass into the middle. Hato's shot will find the back of the net, and we've got a tie game here in game 3.
Yeah, a great pass here from Chicago. He spots Hato in the center field, and just being able to put that to the side, and the placement on that shot is really the beauty in that play. Putting that into the back corner behind the defender, it's so difficult. It forces the goalie to commit left or right. Every time you put them behind it, it's just so difficult. It's a mind game, if you will.
Yeah, and a very, very surgical play there. The first push on their first rotation of offense, they're able to score there. Not having to take any follow-up shots. Chicago trying to wrap this one around. Viking trying to put it back into the box. It'll pinch into the middle. As twice the Tang was the first to fall back. Viking's shot is a bit high. Attempting the pass plays of their own, but just a little bit inaccurate. Chicago flicks it past 1, pass 2. Does it just drop in on the solo plays, breaking both the axles? And that's the lead back for Fibeon.
And this is that same play we saw them get dismantled by earlier. We see once he regains control of the ball, Viking cannot challenge him. He waits too long, and what you'll usually see with the general strategy is to send one player to challenge the ball, and for the most part, you have to hit the ball a little too far away from yourself to be able to follow up on it again. But Chicago able to get right back behind the ball and get another touch, beats both defenders.
Hato plays it into the corner right as we cross halftime. Twice the Tang now. Following this one down, only a 1-goal game. The Chickens on the brink of elimination. Losing this game knocks them out of the tournament. They have to win 3 straight to stay alive. right now, only down by 1. It's definitely within their grasp to get this first step completed. Chicago going to try and dribble it past Viking. He pinches it over to the side. Good 50-50 play from Viking, as he was in a sticky situation. And we'll see Hato over the side. Chicago now down the field. Viking in the corner.
Oh, a missed opportunity for a counterattack there. Viking, if he could have put that one on goal, it would have been a...
Ooh, is
wide open.
Viking here, he sends the shot towards the net, and Hato gets the block. Oh, man, he puts it off the post and out. Very difficult save. And they'll stay alive here, keep their lead. As Hato going to try and extend it, puts another one in, finds the hole in the defense, just puts it straight into the net. 2-goal lead now for Fibeon.
An incredible defense from Viking, and Twice the Tank unfortunately breaks down eventually, and we see Twice the Tank try and come across the net. It's so difficult to see those shots right underneath the crossbar, especially as we see Viking and Twice the Tank have opted for a more defensive play style. You'll see them oftentimes try to wait for those kinds of bounces off of a crossbar, off their own backboard, and use that momentum for a counterattack. Unfortunately, when it just goes straight in, you don't get that option.
Chicago and Hato interrupted by Viking over the side. Twice the Tank now. On this one other side, Viking hanging back in the net. Now he'll move up as Twice the Tank rotates. He'll make the block, and Chicago now very loose on the ceiling. A good opportunity here for them. Oh no, Hato just shuts it down all the way and gets the bump on Viking too, just for good measure to send it away. My goodness. But just when it said, like you said, Chicago falling from the sky there, it was a great 2v1 opportunity, completely dismantled by Hato.
Yeah, oh my, the interference play, we talk about it so much, and there's a good reason for it. It can't be undervalued. The interference play, they're just totally stopping whatever offensive opportunity they had and creating a wide open goal. Those opportunities will come time and time again, and we saw Twice the Tank and Viking going for so much more interference play earlier on in the match, and as it slowed down, so has their grasp and their control of the game.
Hato was about to get dribbled on there, but plays it smartly over the top. And now with 35 seconds left here, down by 3 again. Just when it looks like Chickens is starting to come alive in the series, Fibeon just ramps it up again. We've talked about scaling to your opponents, and Fibeon's been doing just that all tournament long here. Twice the Tank down the field. Is Hato in the way? Yeah, it's off to the side anyways. Twice the Tank probably can put this one in. Now he just drops it into the box again. And as that clock ticks down, it's gonna be Fibeon with the clean sweep over Chickens. Brilliant run here. Twice the Tank and Viking, while they're not going to win and they're not going to move on in the Universal Open, you know that they have established their names in a good place. People are already going to be thinking about these guys as they look at making rosters in the future. And maybe the next Universal Open will be saying Thrice the Tank. Oh, that's right. I mean, really, these guys had a great performance. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. How much you want? So Viking should change his name to Tang, and then he's teamed with Twice the Tang, and then their team name is Thrice the Tang. That's just a casting nightmare, but I would think it was funny.
This is too much Tang. I'm sorry. I can't support this.
You're not a Tang guy? I love Tang.
No. I'm not. Orange juice all the way. The
orange
superior
juice.
orange liquid drink.
What about carbonated orange juice?
You were robbed of a childhood.
No, you're an evil man, Wave. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to get to real analysis here. Okay. Wasn't a great series for Chickens. There are some lessons they can take home from this. They did have some bright spots. You mentioned the defensive play occasionally from before. Obviously didn't go in their favor, though. Do you see these guys have a bright future, though? Do you see some fundamental play that could turn these guys around? Maybe we'll see them as competitors in the future. Yeah, I think that the biggest thing here that the Viking and Twice Tank can learn from is just how important their interference play was. It seems kind of counterintuitive that you have to play more aggressive to maintain control of the game, but it's just you're inviting pressure to just play so defensively, to let the other team do what they want. You're making it too easy for them. And so they just need to be able to take this lesson and learn from it and bring it on next time to the next Universal Open or tournament or what have you. All right, fair enough. But so we already know that Fibeon is now qualified for the Grand Finals in Santa Ana. They've certainly earned their way there. They haven't dropped a game up to this point. But it looks like right now we actually have Alex standing by with a word from our winners. Alex.
Thanks, Kevin. Happy to be here with our winning team. Guys, Hato, Chicago, they're both 16 years old. I think that makes them the youngest team into the Grand Finals in Santa Ana. Guys, you did it. 2 matches. You looked awesome. How are you feeling right now qualifying for the Grand Finals?
I mean, we kind of expected it, but it's still a great feeling, even beating all those teams. It was fun.
Yeah, it's just I'm just so relieved, and now I just get to play the Grand Finals like stress-free and have fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, because the other side of the bracket is looking a little bit interesting. You got Lichinio on one side and Halcyon on set to destroy Lichinio, former world champion. And then you have Jacob and Sizz. I know you guys are watching those matches. They're looking really good. Now that you can relax and you got that ticket to the grand finals, what are you going to be preparing for these grand finals here today? What's your preparation going to be like leading into this final? And what do you expect from the other side of the bracket?
I don't know. I'm going for Lichinio and Halcyon to win. I guess we'll just go practice in the break room and see what happens.
Yeah, I've played these guys so much. Like, I know there's nothing that like can't be beat, and I know how they play, and I'm just ready to play whoever, I guess.
Awesome, guys. I got to say, it's so fun to watch you play, and I wish you the best of luck in the grand finals and of course in Santa Ana. Guys, these are 16-year-old Rocket League players making it to the grand finals. Huge congratulations. Made a fan out of me. Let's go back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that. Coming up next, we're going to punch the ticket for the 16th and final team who will make it into the grand finals in Santa Ana, California. Don't go anywhere. More West Regional action from the Universal Open coming up next.